Kombucha has always been one of those drinks that I could take it or leave it. I told you guys in a prior video that the first time I tasted it was back in 2021 when I had the Ronas and somebody sent me some.
You're watching the Beer Pantry Show.
I found out back then that the only flavor that I liked was the pineapple in the Synergy brand. But since then, I found this brand at Costco. They sell a kit of 6 bottles and it's 3 different flavors. I don't like any of the other flavors, but I like this one, Pink Lady Apple. I don't know why, because it has a hint of apple cider vinegar to the smell and taste, and I don't like the smell or taste of apple cider vinegar, but for some reason this one works. So throughout the years since 2021, I've done some research on the health benefits of kombucha. They say it's a probiotic and it really helps with stomach issues, and you guys know I suffer a lot of stomach issues. So I decided I wanted to add this into my diet. Plus I like fizzy drinks, and the kombucha drink has very little calories. All right, it's about the calorie thing here. So I decided I'm gonna make my own. And yes, I could have bought a SCOBY off of Amazon, but I wanted to try to make my own SCOBY because I have this whole show. So I wanted to show you guys how everything is made from scratch. If you can call it from scratch, because I found out that in order to make kombucha, you need kombucha. Well, let's start at the beginning. So I did a prior video showing you that we had started the process, right? So let's go back over some of the storylines. So I bought my brewing vessels, first of all, from Amazon, and I bought this kit right here from Fermentaholics. And I showed you that I did this unboxing. I did a whole review of this for Amazon. It comes with the 2 jars, the lids, the 2 cloth that you could put over the thing, and the rubber band to hold it, the thermometer, the pen, the mark on the jars. But I was extra, so I made a couple of bonnets for my jars, and I'm glad that I did because it's been easy to slip that thing on and off, and no creepy crawlers or fruit flies or anything like that is getting in the jar, okay? So I made the SCOBY first of all, and I told you guys I could have bought the SCOBY from Amazon. SCOBY stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast, SCOBY, and Amazon sells it for anywhere from $15 to $23 depending on who you want to buy it from, right? It comes with a little bit of the starter tea in the pack. I may end up doing that in the future, but for right now I wanted to do it from scratch. So to do it from scratch, you have to start off with tea, and kombucha for me is always going to be with black tea. I've heard some people do it with green tea, but I don't want to mess around with things that I know nothing about. So I've researched the black tea thing, and this is what we're going to do. So it starts with Lipton. I'm using Lipton tea, black tea, and I'm starting with 3 tea bags. I've brought 4 cups of water to a simmering boil, and this is the filtered water that Joe goes and buys from the water store, okay? So after it got through boiling, I'm putting 3 tea bags in here to steep for 10 minutes. And then I'm adding a 1/3 cup of pure cane sugar, organic pure cane sugar. Now, I didn't squeeze out the tea bags when I removed it from the pot, because from some of the videos that I watched, the people say if you squeeze out the tea bags, you're gonna make the mixture bitter. I don't know if that's true. If you brew kombucha for a living, please come back and tell me if that's true, okay? Can I squeeze the tea bags? Because I feel like I'm wasting good tea. All right, so I set this aside to cool for like 4 hours. So let's continue to pour our tea into the jar. All right, pour the whole thing. It's totally cool. And then I'm supposed to put 2 cups of this. But honestly, after I poured out the 2 cups, I noticed that there was very little left in the bottle. So I just poured the rest in. And then gave it a stir. All right, and then I'm going to put my little bonnet on top. And I decided to put it on the dinner table out of the way. But after a few days, well, let me show you this first. These are the bottles that we're going to use to bottle our homemade kombucha, because these are made to withstand pressure. So this is 3 days, right? Sitting on the dinner table. And all I have is a little bit of cobweb forming on the top. So I learned how to read the thermostat by then. So I moved it to the kitchen counter where it was warmer. And take a look at this. This is like on day 5 or 6. There's something settling on the bottom, right? It was on the top first, and then it just disappeared. And me and Josh were like, where did the thing go? We call it the little monster. Where did the little monster go? And Joshua says, well, it can't crawl out of the jar, Mom, so it's in there somewhere. And that's when I looked and I saw that it had settled to the bottom. Okay, so this is like day 5 or 6. So now this is day 10, and now we're going to do our first ferment. So we're going to make sweet tea again, okay? So let's get our pot of water. And this time it's 8 cups of filtered water that I'm going to bring to a simmering boil. Shut the heat off, put 10 tea bags, and I knotted all the tea bags together, the string, because I don't want them to go floating in the thing. I'm going to steep this for 10 minutes, and then add 1 cup of the pure organic cane sugar. Give it a stir, and I'm going to set this to cool overnight. And then we're going to pick this up in the morning. So this is the next day. Let's start by sanitizing the jar. I already sanitized the first one that I did the SCOBY in. So I'm just rinsing this out with some soap and water. And then I'm going to add some distilled white vinegar to hot water in the jar. And it's about 4 ounces of the distilled white vinegar that I added in. And I'm just going to pour hot water and just keep rinsing until I don't see any soap residue left in the jar, okay? So now I grab my big measuring cup that has 8 cups for the measurement. I would pick up one of these at Walmart if I were you, if you wanted to do this, because this is going to come in handy. So I'm going to pour it in here first, not to measure it or anything, but just so I can use the spout to pour it more easily into the jar, okay? So I'm stopping because the pot's so heavy I have to rest. I have to rest my arms, guys. So pour the rest in. And then now what I'm going to do is pour this into my clean, sanitized jar. And grab it right here. Pour all this sweet tea in here. And remember, this was only 8 cups and we need 16 cups to make a gallon. So I'm going to go fill 8 more cups of water from the machine. Now my machine only has cold water or hot water. It doesn't have room temperature like the old machine that I used to have. So I have to go with cold water because I can't put hot water in this thing or it's going to kill all the good bacteria. I think I messed up by getting that cold water though, because now it made the thing start from a really low temperature, because kombucha loves 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. But now it started like all the way down at 72. So next time what I would do is like set that water out from the night before. So it can become room temperature, okay? While the thing's cooling down, I'm gonna be cooling down my water too. So I'm pouring the 8 cups of water here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add it to the mix. Okay, let's go ahead and pour it. We're only gonna get a gallon, guys, and it's 4 of us, so each of us are only gonna get 2 16-ounce bottles when this is done. But we can flavor it the way we wanna flavor it, right? So now I'm gonna go try to get my SCOBY. Let's see what the SCOBY looks like, guys. Is it gonna be thick? What is it gonna look like? Get my little bonnet off. I'm showing you that I'm gonna go wash my hands. I took off all my jewelry and I'm gonna go wash my hands. They say you can use like the tongs to take it out, but my tongs are small and it's still gonna not get in there. So I'm gonna use my hands, all right? And I'm not gonna put on any gloves because nobody put on any gloves. Now look at this guy. Now Joe had the camera zoomed in and didn't realize that the camera was zoomed in so close while I'm trying to get this stupid SCOBY out. Look, it's just, ugh. It looks just mucusy. So I'm gonna put everything I can find into this thing because I need it. I'm gonna need it to brew this first fermentation, right? So let me get all the little pieces. And no, I'm not gonna pour it through a strainer. We're just gonna grab what we can grab from the top. And then I need a cup of the tea that the SCOBY was sitting in, the starter tea. So I'm pouring a cup here. Joe still has the camera zoomed in. You know, Joe doesn't look, you know, through the door of the camera when he's filming me. He looks at me. He looks at what's going on in real life instead of looking through the, like this. See? He doesn't look through this. Oh, he doesn't look through this. He looks above that and looks at me. And then he doesn't see that the stupid camera is zoomed in. But it is what it is, guys. You guys see what I'm doing. So pour the starter tea in. It's kind of like when you're doing sourdough bread, right? You need the starter stuff. Cover it with a bonnet. And this has to go for 10 days. Today is October the 28th and I started this brew on October the 24th. You can see that the SCOBY is taking better form. So in about 6 days, we'll be able to bottle these off. My original one, which is going to be my SCOBY Hotel, has something forming on the bottom. I'm using this metal straw to core these strawberries because we're going to use some strawberries to sweeten some of the kombucha. So I just shoved it right in the middle and then I took out the core like this. Let me go ahead and put this one back in the basket because it's not washed yet. I just wanted to show you what I was doing. The rest of them are already washed. I'm doing the second ferment today because the brew tastes just tart enough. This is day 8. It didn't even make it to day 10, guys. If I went longer, I think it would have been too bitter. So I put some water and I'm blending, and then I'm going to put this through a strainer and set it aside. So now I want Joshua to show you guys that a SCOBY or a pellicle got formed in my hotel. See? And then let's see this guy right here. We were nervous last night because we thought this was mold, but they say if it's smooth, it's not mold. Mold's going to feel fuzzy. So I'm showing you that I wash my hands right up to my elbows. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out. I am so proud of myself because look, it formed a cohesive thing, right? I'm even posing with it. Put it in the hotel with the other one that's already in there. And then get my hands dry. Then give this a stir because I'm going to have to go in half increments, okay, to do it. So I'm measuring out 1 cup of this tea, the fermented tea, because I'm going to put it in the hotel. So this is our starter, right? I'm going to cover the SCOBY hotel up with the bonnet and set it aside for later this evening when I'm going to start a first brew all over again. Okay, so it has 2 SCOBYs or pellicles in there. But look, I saw a third one. It's on the bottom and it's so beautiful. I'm going to have to use that to do the first ferment all over again. I'm going to use that one. All right, so let's set up our station, guys. Let me go grab that bowl that has the spout and a strainer, okay? And I'm going to put half of this through the strainer. Remember, we already mixed it. We have to go half-half because this bowl is not big enough. So let's sanitize these bottles that we saved from our Costco kombucha. The cup has vinegar and water, and then I'm just running hot water through them and rinsing them out, okay? We have our names on them. We're going to have to take these labels off and put labels on it. We got cranberry grape juice. Remember, we have the strawberry set aside. And we also have pineapple, okay? So this is one of mine. I'm using the Pink Lady Apple bottle, and I'm putting 4 ounces of the cran grape in here. And then we're going to fill it up with the kombucha tea. I'm pouring it in a smaller cup because I don't want to spill. The bowl is too big and heavy for me. Put it through. When you fill it, you're supposed to leave some headroom, right? But I want to get it up above the shoulders of the bottle at least. So let me pour a little bit more. Okay, let's pour it in our little funnel. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to put the cap on, give it a shake to mix up the juice with the kombucha tea. And then Joshua's going to come later and tighten it some more for me. So Joshua wants pineapple with the strawberry for one of his. Each of us are going to get 2 each because it's only a gallon, okay? Pour it in here, pour the kombucha tea, and I'm just going to continue the process with the rest of the bottles, mixing the flavors that each family member would like. So see, we got 9, 2 each, and we got an extra one. This is one of Joe's, pineapple strawberry. This is one of mine, cran grape, and the Brata one has all the flavors of the juice in it. Those bottles are going to have to sit on the table to ferment for another 48 hours before we can put them in the fridge. And then after that, another 24 hours before we can start drinking the kombucha. So that will be on Monday, November the 4th, that we can start drinking kombucha, okay? Meanwhile, I did my first ferment all over again, and I used that little pellicle that I saw at the bottom of the hotel. And it was really, really beautiful. It was thin, but it wasn't goopy. It was well put together. I wish that I had filmed it, but I wasn't going to show you guys that fermentation process all over again. See, you could see it right here through the glass bottle. I bottled these off late Friday afternoon on the 1st of November. Today's Monday morning on the 4th, so we're a little bit past 48 hours. I'm going to put all these in the fridge, but not the Brata one because I want this to go another day to see if it has more fizz than these ones, right? I did put one in the fridge last night because it had a lot of fizz coming up to the mouth. I think that one was filled more, and it also had the strawberry puree. So I was afraid that one would explode. So let's put these in the fridge, and then in another 24 hours or so, we'll be opening to see. One trying to burst.
Wait, open the phone.
I don't open it. Carry it outside. Carry it outside. I didn't open it. Hold it. Grab the thing. Grab the thing. There you go, the camera. Which one is that one? One of them trying to explode, guys. Which one is that one, Joe? Hey, just release some pressure from it.
That's what I did.
That's your straight up pineapple one. I didn't open it. Joe says, why did you open it? I'm like, no, I'm just transferring it.
So they kept the look?
I think maybe that one was too full.
Could be.
Okay, let me put the rest.
And that's for me?
Yeah, that's the pineapple one though. It's not even the one with the strawberry. Thank God I put that one in the fridge last night. Give it a moment.
Surprisingly, it's okay. Not bad.
I was scared of tasting this one because it's the berries.
It's good.
It's good. Okay, don't drink too much. I gotta take a photo shoot.
I thought it was gonna scald my tongue.
Okay, this one's the one that was busting.
It's not bad. I think I'm gonna open my brewery or my.
Okay. Oh, this one's still acting crazy.
Which one is that?
So I ran outside to take some pictures because I needed the foam to still be on the top of the juice, right? I left Joe in here and look what he was doing. He was opening the strawberry pineapple one and glugging it down. The camera caught you, Joe. So out of all three flavors, which one do you like the best?
I would say the strawberry.
Mixed with the pineapple.
Right, mixed with
all
the
right.
pineapple.
So now we love all three flavors. We really do, right? I love the cran grape, I love the pineapple, and I love the pineapple with the strawberry. But Joe picked pineapple strawberry for his fave, and I'm gonna pick straight up pineapple for my fave. Not that any of the three flavors are bad. When Jada gets back, we might be able to taste the one with all three because I just put that Brata bottle in the fridge, so we can't open that till tomorrow morning. And when Joshua wakes up, we're gonna get his take on what he thinks. So let me tell you really quickly how I solved the problem of the cold water from the machine. Remember earlier in the video, I told you guys that when I steep the tea, right, the 8 cups of tea, and I wake up the next morning and I pour all that cold water on it, it drops the temperature so low that it has to work to come back up to the right temperature. But what I do now is when I'm done steeping the hot tea, I pour the cold water on it and now it becomes room temperature. So it cools down pretty quickly that you can set it up more quickly than before. The first fermentation, that's what I'm talking about. So this one's been fermenting. Today's the 5th for 5 days already. So I'm gonna test it on like day 7 to see what it tastes like. If it's getting too vinegary, I'm gonna bottle it off on day 8 again, just like I did with this one. I'm not sure how it's gonna be because it's been cold and we haven't turned on the heater, so it's dropping to 65 at night. When I wake up in the morning, this thing's like 70. So we're putting my heating pad on it. And Joe and the kombucha have been fighting for this heating pad because he's been having a little bit of hip pain. And so he goes, the kombucha come before me? And I say, yes, I've worked hard on this thing, growing my SCOBY and doing all this. You crazy. You better go buy your own heating pad. But honestly, guys, I lend him this heating pad. I'm not a horrible wife. But I did buy heating mats for these and they just came. I haven't even unboxed them yet. I might put them in this video before the video. And I'm trying to throw everything in this darn video, right, baby?
This is the Beth Entry Show.
I'm over there taking pictures and he's just over here drinking.
That's what it's for.
I didn't even taste the pineapple one. Let me taste the pineapple first by itself.
Never did neither. Okay. Come. Come.
Don't drink it all. We have to take one with you. I don't hate none of these.
That's good.
I think we got the right combinations. That's straight up pineapple. Okay, don't be, I need to take,
Man.
what part of I need to take pictures doesn't this man understand?
Why you calling me over here for?
Me not call you for you.